Now I'm heading to the poorhouse or heading to jail, and if I end up there, I ain't making bail. And I ran out of money.
Yes, so Hairless here. Today we have a home free original. Our first home free original. This is Champagne Taste on a Beer Budget. We're doing an original because in our last reaction, Mayday, I initially thought that was an original until I realised it was a cover. And I thought, you know what? It would be good to see what home free is about in terms of their originals. So this one, it was written by Tim, their iconic bass whose range is ridiculous as we discovered in Mayday. And this one here, this is nearly 10 years old. It's an interesting name. This has been recommended quite a bit and there have been a lot of comments alluding to home free's humour, especially following this recommendation. I was thinking by the song name that this could be some kind of obscure reference to someone or something that is perhaps a bit deluded, but I'm guessing it's going to be not so serious because everyone's saying it's a fun song. Alright, let's get straight into it. First home free original.
The other day I checked my bank account and I could swear it was the wrong amount, and I didn't understand because I've been working hard. For the life of me, I didn't know where it went. I hadn't even paid the rent. Then the Mercedes pulled up in the yard. Oh, Lord, I should have seen it coming. This time I'm in deep.
Now I'm heading to the poorhouse or heading to jail, and if I end up there, I ain't making bail. And if it goes to court, I sure don't have a case. Cause I ran out of money some time ago, but if you look at my wife, you'd never know. I'm afraid my baby's got champagne taste
On a beer budget. Well, my throat dried up and my heart just sunk as she motioned me over and popped the trunk, and I tried to ignore her absent-minded smile. And boy, I was greeted by quite the crew. This Louis Vuitton and some Jimmy Choo, and that was just the fellas who were sitting on top of the pile.
I don't know what to say. I've not seen anything like this before. I love it. It's great. It's so fun. The music, which obviously I'll go on and talk about in a second. The lyrics, just the video. Oh, it's great. And the choice to make the part telling the story, usually the lead singer, now speaking it. So clever. Now I understand all those comments I received talking about how home free don't take themselves too seriously, which kind of reminds me of when they were shouting, "Hey!" in Oh Pretty Woman.
Hey, hey, what do I see? Hey!
The speaking, the shouting, it's not tuneful, it's not musical, as one might expect, but it just adds so much to the performance in quite an unconventional way. I think it's great. Also, I'm pretty sure the whole first minute or so, up until that little montage of the can opening, was done in one take, filmed in one take. That's a nice little touch as well. Alright, so what we've heard so far, the music. We open with a nice little passage in thirds between the whistling and the bass, which I find especially strange because my last reaction was to Avi Kaplan's song The Chains, Avi being the bass from Pentatonix, and he opened with whistling as well. That song is a completely different feel, but it also immediately opened with whistle. The whistling is the first thing you hear, which is very, very rare. I pointed it out in that reaction too. I don't think I've mentioned whistling in any of my reactions that I've done so far, so it's strange how suddenly two of them are coming back to back. Anyway, this is what we're hearing in the whistling and the bass. And then at pitch. And then after the whistling and the bass start, then we get the rest of the music. I won't focus too much on who is singing which part exactly because there are more than 5 parts here. There are 7 parts at some points. And when it comes to multi-tracking, people are usually going to disagree on who's singing which part. But at a fundamental level, we have beatbox, bass, spoken melody in Tim, offbeat chords in 3 parts, and then the whistle in Rob. Very nice use of multi-tracking, and I do just want to clarify that before there are comments saying this whole performance is strictly 5-part. If they do this live, then yeah, I'm sure they'll be able to do a version of it in 5 parts. But what we're hearing right now, because it's a studio version, it might as well make it a nice thicker texture, a more full sound. The part that I'm interested in though in particular though is the bass, because it could be Chris covering the bass, but to me it sounds like it's Tim. But if they did this live, maybe they'd have to use Chris covering the bass. But having those chords there on the offbeat to the bass makes the structure of the arrangement in itself quite fun and funny. It's essentially oompa, oompa. They're passing each beat between the bass and the chords. And throwing in the occasional whistle, which is, by the way, is very nicely done by Rob. Great whistler. And I think it just makes you smile, doesn't it? This arrangement is, yeah, it's just fun. And then we get the first sung part in the melody. On O. It just makes me giggle. The whistle is also singing the same note, which here is a B flat, which is the 7th note of C major. So we have the C major chord, and then the 7th note up from the C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you want a tiny bit of music theory on this chord, as you can see, it's a C dominant 7th. So this type of chord is called the dominant 7th. What that basically means is that such a chord, in this case it's the C7 chord, with Tim singing and Rob whistling this note here, it means that such a chord wants to drop down 5 notes and then make a chord on that new note. It's just where this chord naturally wants to go. So here, if you drop down from the C, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm sure you'll agree that it sounds natural to move from here to here. So then to arrange that second chord closer to the original. So that little progression created by a dominant 7th chord sounds like this. Because the dominant 7th chord just naturally wants to make you move to that second chord that's down 5 notes. I heard a rumour, I don't know if it's true, that Mozart's maid would play a dominant 7th chord on the piano to get him out of bed in the morning because he couldn't handle the fact that it didn't move to that second chord. So he'd get up, run to the piano and then play that second chord 5 notes down. Right, that's enough music theory on that. But it's good to see that the first bit of melody we have in Tim with the whistle reinforcing it is such an iconic chord that really is going then leading somewhere. Then here,
I'm in deep.
Tim's voice is just so deep. Quite fitting how he says the word deep there as well, as it just drops right down. And then this section here.
Now I'm heading to the poorhouse or heading to jail, and if I end up there I ain't making bail, and if it goes to court I sure don't have a case.
What a great section. It's so catchy, and what choreography is. It just makes me laugh. I love it. I love it. Overall, I think it's a genuinely great song. There's not one aspect of it that I don't like. Alright, and then we get this bit.
Absent-minded smile.
Lovely vocal effects there, mainly the can opening as well, so realistic. But in a weird way, it kind of juxtaposes the visual opening of the can. And I think it really emphasises Adam's vocal ability here for a few reasons. One, not only we're seeing a real can opening, but it's a human voice. But this is the first moment there's no singing. It's also the end of the one take film cut that had been going on until here. And we have a freeze frame. So all round, it's just completely different to what we've seen and heard before.
Absent-minded smile.
So then from this different section, how do we return back to where we were before? A nice old reverse ascending descending scale coming in to meet in the middle.
And boy, I was
Which looks like this on the piano. Right, let's carry on. This is so fun. I'm loving it.
we were sitting on top of the pile. I said, baby, there's a Walmart a block away, and I don't think they sell these brands.
Now I'm heading to the poorhouse or heading to jail, and if I end up there I ain't making bail, and if it goes to court I sure don't have a case. Cause I ran out of money some time ago, but if you look at my wife you'd never know. I'm afraid my baby's got champagne taste.
On a beer budget. All the bills are in my name.
All the bills are in his name.
They're gonna haul my ass away. And I won't see her pretty face at all. Cause the prison's nowhere near the mall.
Now I'm heading to the poorhouse or heading to jail, and if I end up there I ain't making bail, and if it goes to court I sure don't have a case. Cause I ran out of money some time ago.
Sorry, is that Avi? So that's okay, I swear I did not plan this. I mentioned Avi early in the video because my reaction yesterday at the time of filming was his song Chains, which started with whistling, and I haven't reacted to any other song that has whistling. Now there's 2 in 2 days, and now he's in this. Why is he in this video? This is a stupid, silly coincidence. Sorry, if someone comments saying you knew this was happen or you planned it, I'm gonna cry. Is he like good mates with them? Let's go back to this bit.
Now I'm heading to the poorhouse or heading to jail, and if I end up there I ain't making bail, and if it goes to court I sure don't have a case. Cause I ran out of money some time ago, but if you look at my wife you never know. I'm afraid my baby's got champagne taste.
On a beer budget.
Well, that was fun, wasn't it? That was great. Why is Avi just chilling on a bull back there? So many questions that I have right now, honestly. The world works in weird ways, I feel. Anyway, back to this. So much fun. Absolutely love the arrangement. Well, it's original song as well, so I love the song, the arrangement, the story in the song, the lyrics. All round great. Well done, Tim. This bit, cinematic. Lone champagne glass getting knocked over by a jar of beer.
On a beer budget.
And then shout out to that burp there. I don't know who's doing the burp. If it's Adam though, this has just got me thinking, are beatboxers able to burp on demand? Or is burping a completely different anatomical mechanism to creating beat sounds? Makes you wonder. Bit later on, that's 2 performances in a row where Tim has just absolutely killed it in his upper range as well, in his upper chest voice. What a voice he has, and it's so well suited to this style, to this country style. Just after that as well, I love how his melody is so high in his chest voice there, it's up at this E. But he still manages to start it with a really low growl. And then we have this part, which might be my favourite part of the whole song. Because the prison's nowhere near the mall. So good. Is he celebrating going to prison now so she can't spend his money in the mall? But it's a nice chord here, and that's why I like it as well. We have a descending textural build-up, which looks like this. But Austin goes up to the G on the last note. And Tim, whilst he does start on the first same note as everyone else, he then descends throughout the chord and then ends down here. So now that's this final chord that we have. So everyone starts on that middle and then we grow upwards and downwards and then create this chord there. And then at the end, it's a nice way to end, very similarly to how we started with the whistle and the chords on the offbeat. And then Tim's percussive bass run, and then the kind of guitar slidey sound. Then Adam spilling the beer all over himself. Yeah, that was great. So cool. I love hearing originals. And if that's what Home Free's originals are like, then I guess there are many, many pleasant surprises up ahead. Very, very excited for that. Thank you to everyone who recommended that one. Honestly, that was great. I had no idea what to expect, and that just never seen anything like it. As always, thank you very much for watching. We'd appreciate it. Like, subscribe. If you want to support me and join the community, then you can do so by joining the Patreon and the YouTube memberships. Links in the description below. And I will see you next time.